Have you ever cleaned up, only to find the house messy again just a little while later? Yeah, me too. There were days when I wiped the table, picked up all the toys, did every single dish, and just 15 minutes later, it looked like I hadn't touched a thing. So today, I want to share 20 tiny habits. Each one takes just about a minute. I've been using them consistently for about 3 weeks, and I can honestly say my home feels lighter. And so do I. And before we get started, if this is your first time here, welcome to the Declutter Guide. If you're tired of cleaning non-stop and still feeling behind, this channel is here to help you reset. With simple routines, small daily habits, and realistic tips that actually work especially for busy women like you. So take a deep breath and let's get started. The first habit I started with was simple. Use a catch-all basket where clutter always shows up. There's always that one spot in the house, a table, a corner, the edge of the kitchen counter, where stuff just appears out of nowhere. Receipts, random toys, unopened mail chargers, hair ties, you name it. At first, I kept trying to put everything back in its proper place. But the truth is, with a busy home, things don't always make it there right away. So I tried something different. I placed a small basket right where the clutter usually lands. Now, instead of things spreading everywhere, they land in one spot. It's not perfect, but it's contained, and at the end of the day, it's easy to sort through. It's such a small habit, but it really helped me stop feeling like I was always picking up after everyone. So take a look around. Where in your home does clutter always land? Try placing a catch-all there and just see what happens. So that's habit number 1. A tiny shift that helps keep clutter from spreading. And if you're someone who's craving a calmer, more intentional home overall, make sure to check back tomorrow. We'll talk about how to simplify your space in a way that feels doable, not extreme. But for today, let's keep going. Here's habit number 2. Here's habit number 2, put shoes back in place. I used to come home, kick them off wherever, and move on with my day. Then my kids did the same. And before I knew it, there were 5 pairs of shoes scattered across the entryway, right where I needed to walk or where guests would step in. Now we have a simple rule. Every pair of shoes goes back to its spot. For us, it's just a low shelf by the door and a basket in the closet for extra pairs. Even if I don't have the energy to line them up perfectly, I at least make sure they're not just left in the middle of the floor. It takes less than a minute, but it instantly makes the entryway feel calmer and safer too. If you're tired of tripping over shoes or seeing that pile grow day by day, try setting up one small home for them. You'll be surprised how much lighter that tiny change can make your space feel. The next habit is to wipe down your table. I used to ignore the crumbs. A few toast flakes, a coffee ring, maybe a sticky spot from my kids' juice box, nothing major. But over time, I realized something. A messy table makes the whole room feel unfinished. Now I keep a cloth nearby, just tucked in a drawer or hanging on the oven handle. After meals, after work, or just in a quiet moment, I give the table a quick wipe. It takes less than a minute, but that one action shifts everything. Suddenly, the space looks clear. It's ready for dinner, or focus, or simply to not bother my eyes every time I walk past. It's not about deep cleaning. It's about creating a blank canvas again and again so your home doesn't shout at you. Try it once today. One wipe, one surface, one little mental reset. The next habit is to clear your kitchen counter. There's something about a cluttered counter that makes the whole kitchen feel stressful. I used to think it's fine, I'll deal with it later. But later kept piling up cutting boards, empty mugs, snack wrappers, random mail. Eventually, I couldn't even prep dinner without having to move things around first. So I started building a habit. Every time I walk into the kitchen, I take 1 minute to clear just the main counter. Not the whole kitchen, not deep cleaning, just the one space that sets the tone for everything else. Sometimes it's just putting the blender away, sometimes it's wiping a few crumbs or tossing yesterday's mail into recycling. But that one clear space makes me feel like the kitchen is mine again, not a to-do list waiting to happen. Try it next time you walk in. Don't aim for perfection. Just pick one surface and clear it. Let that be enough. Number 5 is put your mug straight into the dishwasher. You know that moment when you finish your coffee and just leave the mug on the counter? I used to do that all the time. I'd tell myself I'd deal with it later. But later would turn into 3 mugs, 2 bowls, a spoon, and suddenly the whole counter looked like a mini dish disaster. Now I've trained myself almost like muscle memory to put it straight into the dishwasher. Or if the dishwasher's full, I'll just rinse it and leave it in the sink, not on the counter. It takes maybe 15 seconds, but it keeps things from spiraling. Because the truth is, clutter invites more clutter. 1 cup becomes 5, 1 plate becomes a pile. This habit breaks that cycle before it starts. So the next time you finish your tea, your cereal, or even just a little snack, pause and give that dish a home. Number 6 is reset your coffee table. Our coffee table used to be a little magnet for everything. Remotes, empty cups, male toys, random hair ties, whatever didn't have a place somehow ended up there. It wasn't messy enough to demand a full clean, but it was just visually noisy, and it made the whole living room feel unsettled. Now I take 1 minute, usually in the evening, to reset that surface. Mugs back to the kitchen, remotes in the basket, papers either tossed or put away. That's it. Not a deep clean, just a gentle reset. And honestly, that small act helps me close the day. It's like telling the room you're done for today. If your coffee table is constantly collecting clutter, try giving everything on it. A home, a small basket for the remotes, a tray for coasters, maybe even a rule like no paper piles allowed. The clearer that surface gets, the more peaceful the whole space starts to feel. The next habit is to hang up your coat and bag right away. Walking through the door at the end of the day, it's so tempting to drop everything. Coat on the chair, bag on the floor, keys wherever they land. I used to tell myself I'll hang it up later, but later usually didn't come, and soon the entryway became this growing pile of jackets, backpacks, and stuff that didn't belong. So I made one small rule for myself. As soon as I get home, I hang up my coat and bag, right away, even when I'm tired, even when my hands are full. It takes 20 seconds and it saves me from hours of tidying up later. We added simple wall hooks right by the door, even a few lower ones for the kids. Now everyone knows where things go, and that chaotic dump zone finally disappeared. This tiny habit sets the tone. We don't drop things, we put them back. Try it today just once. Hang it up before you kick off your shoes. It's one of those small wins that makes you feel like, okay, I've got this. Let's move on to habit number 8, and it's a quiet game changer. Make your bed every morning. Some mornings feel chaotic before they even start. Kids need something. The phone's already buzzing, the kitchen's calling your name, and in the middle of it all, the bed is still a mess. But here's what I've found. Making the bed is like planting one small flag of order. It's a moment of, I've done one thing. I've started. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just pull the cover up, fix the pillows, smooth it out, 45 seconds tops. But that 45 seconds creates a visual message you'll feel every time you walk into the room. This space is done. You don't need to fix it. And on the days when everything else feels out of control, walking past a made bed feels like a quiet little win. So tomorrow morning, try it. Before checking your phone, before diving into everything else, just reset the bed. Start the day on your terms. Next is habit number 9, and it takes less than a minute to instantly calm the living room. Fluff your pillows and fold the blankets. You know that feeling when you walk into the living room and the pillows are slouched, the blankets in a heap, and it just looks tired. It's such a small thing, but tidying up the couch, just a quick fold here, a gentle shake there, makes the whole space feel ready again. Not for guests, for you. I usually do this once in the morning and sometimes again in the evening, especially if the kids have had a movie marathon. It takes under a minute, but that small reset turns a worn-out zone back into a calm space to sit, think, or just breathe. Bonus tip. If you find yourself constantly adjusting too many pillows, Maybe it's time to let a few go. Less fluff, less fuss. This habit isn't about perfection. It's about creating a space that feels cared for without feeling like a project. Let's move on to habit number 10. And it's one of the first things your eyes land on when you wake up. Clear your bedside table. It's easy to let this little surface collect things: an empty water glass, old receipts, half-used lip balm, dusty books, or napkins you meant to throw away last night. And because it's just the nightstand, we often ignore it, but it's actually the first and last thing you see every day. I started making it a habit once a day. Usually when I make the bed, I do a 30-second sweep of the bedside table. Throw out the trash, put away the mug, straighten a book, wipe a little dust. It's such a small act, but waking up to a clear surface right beside me, it makes the room feel lighter, less chaotic, more mine. You don't need to style it like a magazine photo. Just make sure what's there is useful and not silently shouting for your attention. Habit number 11 is simple but surprisingly powerful. Put your makeup away after you're done. It's so easy to finish getting ready, rush out the door, and leave everything scattered on the counter: foundation, brushes, mascara, lipsticks. And then those same products are still there the next morning, waiting in the exact same mess. I didn't even notice how often I left it like that, until I made it a habit to pause for 1 minute after doing my makeup and just put everything back. I keep a small tray or container in the bathroom cabinet, just one spot for all my everyday items. So instead of leaving them out, I drop each product right into its place. It takes no time, but it makes the bathroom instantly feel calmer. No more cluttered counters, no more "where's my concealer" moments. And the best part, cleaning the bathroom is way easier when the surface is already clear. So next time you finish getting ready, don't walk away just yet. Give your space that tiny reset, and future, you will feel the difference. Habit number 12 is one of those things that seems too small to matter until it really does. Close drawers and cabinet doors when you're done using them. You might think it's just a drawer, I'll get back to it. But when you step back and look around half-open doors, a slightly pulled-out drawer cupboard left ajar, they all create this low-level noise that makes the room feel unfinished. It's subtle, but it adds up. Now I've trained myself, just like turning off a light, to close what I open. Right away. The visual difference is instant. Everything feels neater, more put back together with zero extra effort. This tiny habit also prevents things like bumping your hip on an open drawer, or your kids trying to climb into a cupboard that's been left open. So next time you reach for something, a snack, a shirt, a towel, take 1 extra second to close the space behind you. It's not about being tidy. It's about finishing the action you started so your space can fully reset. Habit number 13 is one of those things that takes seconds but saves you hours later. Toss unneeded papers right away. Mail school notes, flyers, receipts. They show up every day. And if you don't deal with them, they pile up quietly, relentlessly on kitchen counters, dining tables, desks, bedside tables. I used to let it sit, thinking I'd go through it later. But that later often never came. And soon I was facing a frustrating stack of mystery papers. Now I've made it a rule: if it's junk, it goes straight into the recycling. Right now. I don't keep takeout menus, promotional flyers, or that one random note from school that's already passed. If I need it, I file it. If not, it's gone. No guilt, no delay. This habit takes 10 seconds at most, but it keeps my surfaces clearer and my mind calmer. So next time you bring in the mail or empty your bag, pause before setting it down. Ask, do I actually need this? And if the answer's no, let it go. Habit number 14 is all about protecting your space and your focus. Delete junk mail as soon as it comes in, whether it's on paper or in your inbox. It sounds small, but unfiltered junk builds up fast. A flyer about gutter cleaning, a coupon you'll never use, a newsletter you didn't sign up for. All of it takes up more space than we think on the counter, in your email, in your head. Now I deal with it right away. If I bring in the mail, I recycle the junk before it even touches the table. Same with email, I scan, delete, unsubscribe if needed. No parking it for later. This habit gives me two things: clearer surfaces, less mental clutter. I don't need a stack of unopened ads staring at me. I don't need 73 unread emails from brands I don't remember subscribing to. So here's the habit. Before something becomes part of the pile, deal with it. Trash it. Archive it. Unsubscribe. 1 minute now means one less thing to clean or think about later. Habit number 15 tackles a common culprit: clothes that don't make it back where they belong. Deal with tossed clothes right away. You know the ones, the jeans you might wear again. The hoodie you left on the chair just for now. The workout top from this morning that's not dirty but not exactly clean either. Left alone, these pieces become quiet piles on the bed over the chair on the floor. And soon the whole room feels like it's waiting for you to finish something. So here's the habit. Every time you change, take a few seconds to decide: laundry or back in the closet. No limbo piles, no, I'll deal with it later. If it's still wearable, hang it back up even if it's not perfectly folded. If it's done, toss it straight into the hamper. It sounds small, but keeping clothing off your furniture and floors gives your room an immediate sense of order. And more importantly, it keeps those little piles from whispering you're behind. Habit number 16 is more of a mindset shift, and it's one that changed how my home feels. Choose closed storage over open shelves whenever you can. I used to think open shelves looked stylish, and they can. But in real life, they also collect visual noise. Books, toys, bins, cords. No matter how well styled they start, they rarely stay that way. And when every wall and surface is full of things to look at, your eyes never get a break. It's like your brain stays on high alert, scanning, tracking, noticing clutter that maybe isn't even messy but still feels heavy. So now I've made one small shift. If it can be stored behind a door, I store it behind a door. Closed baskets, cabinets, drawers, even swapping an open bookcase for a unit with doors made a huge difference. Suddenly the room feels calmer, quieter. Not because it's empty, but because the clutter isn't shouting at me all day. This doesn't mean hiding everything. It just means giving your eyes a place to rest so your home feels like it's holding you, not demanding from you. Habit number 17 is simple, but it stops clutter before it even begins. Put stray items back where they belong as soon as you see them. A toy in the kitchen, a sock in the hallway, a screwdriver left on the counter from yesterday. These little things don't seem like a big deal until there are 20 of them and suddenly the house feels chaotic again. So now I have a quiet rule for myself. If I see something out of place and it takes less than a minute to fix, I do it right away. I don't wait for a big cleanup session. I just pick it up, walk it back, and move on. Sometimes it's a spoon left in the bedroom. Sometimes it's a puzzle piece I find under the couch. It's never a big deal until I let it pile up. This habit doesn't mean your house will always look perfect, but it does mean the clutter won't sneak up on you as easily. So next time you walk past that "why is this here" item, don't step over it. Pick it up, put it back. Your home and your mind will feel clearer for it. Habit number 18 is all about visual breathing room. Cut back on small decor and knick-knacks. I used to decorate every surface. A candle here, a little sign there, a vase, a bowl of something cute, it all added up. But one day I realized it wasn't beautiful anymore, it was busy. The more tiny items I had on display, the more time I spent dusting, adjusting, or just feeling overwhelmed by how full everything looked. So I started editing. I asked myself, do I still love this? Does it still add calm or joy, or is it just habit? Bit by bit, I removed the extras. Suddenly, shelves felt lighter. The dresser top was easier to wipe. The whole room looked clearer, not empty, just more intentional. This isn't about being minimalist. It's about not letting little things steal space or attention from what really matters. Try this: pick one surface in your home and remove just 2 decor items. See how it feels with a little more space around it. You might be surprised how much calmer your home looks and how much lighter you feel. Habit number 19 tackles one of the most overlooked sources of visual clutter: cords and cables. They're small, but once you notice them, they're everywhere. Charging cables by the bed, TV cords hanging down the wall, laptop chargers trailing off the desk. Even if your home is clean, all those lines and loops create a constant sense of mess. I didn't realize how much they were bothering me until I started hiding them. Now we use simple tricks: cable boxes behind the TV, a charging drawer for phones, cord ties and clips to keep everything tucked out of sight. Even moving a few chargers to a basket or routing a wire behind furniture makes a big difference. It's not about making things perfect. It's about giving your eyes fewer things to process. Because every time you scan a room and don't see a web of wires, your brain relaxes just a little. So take a look around your home. What cables could disappear with just a minute of rearranging? Start with one, then another. Soon your space and your mind will feel so much clearer. Habit number 20 is about controlling the tech clutter before it spreads across the whole house. Create a simple charging station: phones, tablets, wireless earbuds, Kindles. With so many devices, it's easy for chargers to end up in every room: on the nightstand, the kitchen counter, the floor near the couch. I used to leave chargers wherever I used them last, which meant cords everywhere and devices that were always almost charged. Now we've set up one small charging area, just a tray in the corner of the kitchen with a multi-port charger and a basket to keep cables tidy. Everyone knows this is where devices go when they need to charge. No more chargers draped over furniture. No more phones left on the floor. It takes the visual chaos out of something we all use constantly and replaces it with one calm, centralized system. You don't need a fancy charging dock. Just pick one place, plug in a few basics, and make it a habit. Less scatter, more order, and a little more peace in your day. That's it. 20 tiny habits that help your home feel lighter 1 minute at a time. Let me know in the comments. Which one will you try first? Or do you already do some of these without realizing it? I'd love to hear what works in your home. If this helped you, give it a like so more women can find it. And don't forget to subscribe. New videos go up every day. Tomorrow, we're diving into a slower, deeper kind of change: how to create a simplified home that feels calm, not empty. It's not about having less for the sake of it. It's about choosing what truly supports the way you live. Thanks for being here. And remember, your home doesn't have to be perfect to bring you peace.